U.S. President Donald Trump has introduced a travel ban from European countries amid concern over the spread of coronavirus. Follow DW for the latest coronavirus updates in Universal Coordinated Time, UC/GMT 06. 4:25 China's Hubei province, the epicenter of outbreak, will allow industrial production to resume in some parts of the province and ease travel restrictions in those regions accordingly. 420 Confused about coronavirus conspiracy theories? This isn't the first time diseases and disinformation have crossed paths. Read about other examples from history here. 345 A member of France's parliament representing French Polynesia is the first confirmed case of coronavirus in the South Pacific. Official Minasaga began feeling ill on Monday, 2 days after returning to the French Pacific territory from France, the territory's president Edouard Fritsch said. On February 26, Saga met with French Culture Minister Franck Riester, who was later confirmed to have coronavirus. 326 Thailand's health ministry has reported 11 new coronavirus cases, bringing the total to 70. All of the new patients had socialized and shared drinks, health officials said, adding that a tourist from Hong Kong had been the source of the infection. The Hong Kong tourist came alone and already went back. The 11 infected are all Thai, said Soponayam Sirithawan, Director General of the Communicable Disease. It marked the biggest jump in cases for weeks in Thailand, which was one of the first countries outside China to report. 15 stock markets in Asia tumbled again on Thursday following U.S. President Trump's announcement of restriction on travel from 26 European countries. Health officials wearing face masks check the body temperature of policewomen before a rally in Bangkok on March 103. 23 U.S. Democrats unveiled legislation to give aid to people affected by the outbreak. House Democratic leaders intend to hold a debate and vote on the measure as early as Thursday. It includes additional funding for food and nutrition programs, expanded unemployment insurance and paid sick days for workers, according to the bill's text. 321 New York City has canceled its St. Patrick's Day Parade. It would have been the 259th annual parade, according to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. 309 The U.S. State Department has advised us citizens to reconsider travel abroad due to corona. 305 South Korea reported 114 new cases of coronavirus and 6 more deaths, resuming a relative decline in new cases after a spike. The new cases bring the country's total to 7,869, with 66 deaths. The Korea Center for Disease Control and Prevention, an official wearing a mask and a traditional guard uniform, stands at Gyeongbokgung Palace in Seoul. South Korea 02:59 South America's soccer body CONMEBOL is asking FIFA to suspend the beginning of World Cup qualifiers scheduled for the end of March, due to coronavirus. Here's a look at how major indices fared. Tokyo ended down 4.4, while Sydney lost 7.4 in the ASX 200's worst day since 2008. Hong Kong fell 3. The letter said the outbreak could affect South American national teams that have members in Europe, for they could be put in quarantine, which would stop them from 237. China's aviation regulator said that the number of flights in the country rose to 40 of levels seen before coronavirus-related curbs were implemented. 33 U.S. Department of Homeland Security, DHS Acting Secretary Chad Wolf said in a statement that he plans to issue a notice in the next 48 hours that would require U.S. passengers who have been in Schengen area countries to travel through selected airports with enhanced screening. Travel restrictions announced on Wednesday by Trump ban most foreign nationals who have traveled to the areas over the past 14 days from entering the U.S., the DHS said. The restrictions, meant to combat the spread of coronavirus, do not apply to legal permanent residents of the U.S. Nor does it generally apply to immediate family members of American citizens, according. Wolf also tweeted the elements of 223. The organizer of the Bucharest Pride celebration in Romania said that the event would be delayed at least 3 months due to corona. The event typically attracts about 10,000 people and was postponed from May 23 until August or September. 5 in the afternoon while Shanghai was off 1.6. Seoul, Singapore and Jakarta each lost more than 3, while Mumbai dropped more than 7 and Bangkok. People marched at the Bucharest Pride Parade in June of 201,802. 14 Guyana confirmed its first case in a Guyanese woman who died after returning to the South American country last week from the United States. The 52-year-old woman sought medical care after arriving in Guyana on March 5 and died Wednesday morning, a statement issued by President David Granger. Earlier tests diagnosed her with uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension, but more tests on Wednesday afternoon after she died confirmed she had coronavirus. 02:05 Washington, D.C., Mayor Muriel Bowser declared a state of emergency in the U.S. Capitol as the number of identified cases. "We're not in a vacuum. Our country is experiencing these and our world is experiencing this," he told a news conference. 159 The classification of coronavirus as a pandemic will have an impact on discussions about the Tokyo 2020 Summer Olympics, but, for now, cancellation is unthinkable. Kyoto News quoted Tokyo Governor Yurikoko Ike as saying on. Japanese government spokesman Yoshihide Suga said that there is no change in planning for the 2020 Olympics, set to start in July, and there is also no need to declare a state of emergency in Japan due to the coronavirus outbreak. 5 o'clock The final victim was recovered from the rubble of the coronavirus quarantine hotel which collapsed in East China, authorities said, bringing the total death toll to 20. A woman wearing a mask walks near the Olympics mark in Odaiba, Tokyo. 01:39 The NBA announced it will suspend the season after Utah Jazz player Rudy Gobert tested positive for coronavirus. The move came shortly after the majority of the league's owners were leaning toward playing games without fans in arenas. 1:20 Tom Hanks has announced that he and his wife, actress Rita Wilson, have both tested positive for coronavirus in Australia. He said that he and Wilson, who are both 63, were tested in Australia, where he is working on a film after they felt tired and achy with slight fevers. To play things right, as is needed in the world right now, we were tested for the coronavirus and were found to be positive, Hanks said in a tweet. 1:15 U.S. President Donald Trump has suspended all travel from EU countries except the United Kingdom for 30 days. He said the restrictions were strong but necessary. To keep new cases from entering our shores, we will be suspending all travel from Europe to the United States for the next 30 days. The new rules will be effective from midnight on Friday. He also urged Congress to pass tax relief. I am calling on Congress to provide Americans with immediate payroll tax relief. Hopefully, they will consider this very strongly. 4:34 Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte is to be tested for coronavirus after exposure to coronavirus patients. 0:53 Cuba has confirmed its first 3 cases of coronavirus, according to its state broadcaster. The patients are Italians who had traveled to the country. 0:40 Mainland China declared 11 new coronavirus deaths and 15 new cases on March 11, down from 22 deaths and 24 new cases on. That brings the total number of confirmed cases in mainland China to 80,700. 0:24 Saudi Arabia has temporarily banned citizens and residents from traveling to European Union states, according to Saudi state television. 0:09 U.S. President Donald Trump is considering implementing travel restrictions and a mandatory quarantine for travelers returning from European countries. He is set to address the nation about potential restrictions on television at 2100 hours CST, 1 o'clock UTC. Earlier in the day, Trump tweeted, "We must beat it as quickly and safely as." 23:52 Australia announced an $17.6 billion Australian dollars, $11.4 billion, €10.11 billion spending plan to curb the economic impact of coronavirus and avert the country's first recession in The spending plan is equivalent to about 1.2 of country's GDP. 23:44 El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele has imposed a 21-day nationwide quarantine, meaning that no foreigner will be able to enter the country unless they are a resident or a diplomat. His spokesman said on Thursday, as top government officials began to self-quarantine. The country currently has no confirmed. Members of El Salvador's health ministry spray sanitizer at the San Oscar Arnulfo Romero International Airport in San Salvador City. 23:20 Bottom line, it's going to get worse, said Anthony Fauci, the director of the U.S. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. The statement comes as Trump is scheduled to address the nation from the White House on the government's response to the outbreak. Every evening, DW's editors send out a selection of the day's hard news and quality featured journalism. You can sign up to receive it directly here. LC/RC, TPA, Reuters, AP. What are the symptoms of COVID-19 and how can you protect yourself? What's the latest status on infection rates and how is the international community responding? Here's an overview of the latest news and information. 27.02:2020, WHO has said COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic, while experts have said the coronavirus is likely to be 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu. Follow DW for the latest coronavirus update. With the Syrian healthcare system on its knees, according to the World Health Organization, refugee camps across the region are also facing the potential threat of COVID-19. 428 Greece has reported its first coronavirus death, in a 66-year-old man who had underlying health issues. So far, no cases have been found. The World Health Organization has declared the coronavirus outbreak a pandemic. German Chancellor Merkel warned 70% of the population will probably catch the virus. Plus, in the US, Bernie Sanders remains defiant despite elect. The man had returned from a religious pilgrimage to Israel and Egypt at the end of February. There were 99 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Greece by late Wednesday.